Hi, Dad. Where were you last week?
Hi Zara. I hiked the Otter Trail, a 5-day long trail along the coast in the south of South Africa. I like to call it the hike to the other world.
Wow, how did you get to that other world?
On Saturday we took the early flight from Johannesburg to George, where we arrived shortly before 9 o'clock in the morning. From there we took a shuttle to the start of the trail in the Tsitsikamma National Park, where we arrived around lunchtime. After all the formalities were finished, we were ready to start hiking, but it was already past 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
Is that when you entered the other world?
Yes, well, no, not immediately. The first few kilometers of the trail are open to day visitors, and since it was Saturday, the trail was quite busy. So, together with many day tourists, we first visited the Bat Cave. And then we hiked further towards the waterfall, which also marks the end of the section that is open for day tourists. To me, that is the point of the trail that represents the gate to the other world.
I see. So how long did you hike in the other world?
We entered the other world on day 1, then we spent 3 full days hiking there, and we left the other world on day 5.
And what is so special about the other world?
Oh, well, where shall I start? Once you enter the other world, everything changes. No more noisy tourists, no cell phone receptions, only you, the other hikers, the sea and the trail. And that is the other world. There are views, forests, birds, flowers, special rocks, sunshine, rain. There are rivers to cross, possible night walks, dolphins, frogs, hundreds of steps, rainbows, beaches, sunsets, magnificent viewpoints and spectacular cliffs.
Rain? I love rain. Show me the rain. Did you have a lot of rain?
We hiked a fair bit in the rain, yes. One day we started out hiking in the rain, and it rained for most of the day. But everybody was well prepared. We all had a poncho or a rain jacket and rain pants. You know, the area has a marine climate and has rain the whole year around. So, if you are hiking for 5 days, the chances of having some rainy days are high. Despite the rain, the views were still quite impressive. Sometimes the walking paths were converted into little streams. That was quite something.
Wow, tell me more about the views.
The views are an essential part of the other world. Without the views, there would be no other world. I guess the views speak for themselves. They don't need many comments.
What a beautiful morning. And down again we go.
The contrast between the views on a rainy day versus the views on a sunny day is phenomenal. I prefer the sunny day views, but other people prefer the rainy day views.
We had a hot dog. Oh, true. No.
Did you really hike during the night? In the dark?
Yes, we had to. You see, one of the rivers that we had to cross, the Blauwkrans River, can only be crossed safely when the tide is low. For us, the low tide on the day of the crossing was around 7 in the morning and around 7:30 in the evening. We did not want to cross the river in the dark, so we chose to get up early and try to get there at 7 o'clock in the morning.
Did you make it?
We got up at 1:30 and started hiking at 2 o'clock at night. We hiked most of the trail in the dark and were very relieved shortly before 6 o'clock when it started to get light. We finally got to the Blauwkrans River shortly after 7 o'clock, and the first people crossed the river around 7:30. Here is some video footage, courtesy of Tash, about the crossing. The tide was low, but there was still a lot of water because of the heavy rainfall of the past couple of days. Not everyone crossed. Some deemed it too dangerous and took the alternative route.
Did it! Oh, Clive! Woo! Go, Clive!
See, it's not deep at all. That's the way it is. We won't take him out. They're safer now.
You know, your sister was one of the 4 people that managed to get across.
When the next time he comes, he must go walk across. He's going.
White foam is the right place
Yes,
to be.
yes, I know. But now when you come back,
You see,
yeah.
it's going to be fine. It's white foam. It's white foam.
See how easy it is.
One other person tried, but wisely decided to return halfway.
Were all the river crossings this difficult?
No, some rivers are more like streams, and there it is a matter of finding a route across by jumping from one rock to the next. For the rivers, a lot depends on the tide, but it's only the Blauwkrans River where it is crucial to get there with low tide. For some of the big rivers, it is sufficient to walk upstream until the river is narrow enough to get across. Like this one. Here we took our shoes off and managed to get across quite easily. For other rivers, the current was quite strong and we had to tie a rope across that people could hold on to while crossing the river. Here you can see your sister Lauren showing everybody how it's done. To prevent our backpack and all its contents from getting wet, we made use of so-called survival bags.
He's done a good job there. That's how you do it.
Wow, that was quite impressive. Were there also sand beaches?
Yes, there were some, but not a lot. The sand beaches were very nice. Unfortunately for us, we passed most of them on the rainy part of our travels and could therefore not fully enjoy them. Nevertheless, some of our team members took every opportunity to have a swim in the sea.
I saw some beautiful rock formations in those images. Were there a lot of those?
Oh yes, that is another very special feature of the other world. The variety in rock and rock formations is just awesome. Look at this. How did those white stones land everywhere on that black rock?
Maybe the sea threw them there?
Yeah, it must be something like that.
Hey, look at that. Well done, Lauren. You mentioned sunsets. Did you see some nice sunsets?
We had one evening where we managed to see a small rainbow in the distance, followed by a very nice sunset. It wasn't always easy to catch a nice sunset because of the location of the huts.
Hundreds of steps, you said. Are there really that many steps on the trail?
Yes, there were steps, steps and then more steps. It is what makes this trail a real challenge for many people. The average daily distance that needs to be covered is less than 10 kilometers. So that is very doable for an average hiker. But it is the many steps on the trail that make it difficult.
Was it difficult to leave the other world and enter back into the normal world?
It was made easy due to the fact that the trail ends in a place called Nature's Valley. It is a magnificent place with a beautiful beach. We stayed there for the night and flew back to Johannesburg the next day.
Sounds like you had a great time. Any last comments or advice?
Oh yes, we had a fantastic team and a wonderful time. As far as tips are concerned, take at least one hiking stick to help with the balancing. This is especially useful on the downhills. And most of all, relax. Don't rush and have fun. Take your time to enjoy nature. And don't forget to make time to appreciate the other people in the team.
Well, my heart knows me better than I know myself, so I'm gonna let it do all the talking. Came across a place in the middle of nowhere with a big black horse and a cherry tree.